Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
25, born and raised here in Houston, Texas. Grew up listening to Black Sabbath, and Pat Travers, and the good old Allman Brothers. From my dad, Stevie Ray Vaughan was just a huge influence. So I started just getting into this whole classic rock thing, and that's where I've kind of just stuck, you know, since the age of like 4, and here I am today, you know, doing live music, and you know, it's just something that I've always been passionate about and I always want to keep continuing doing.
Do you have are you playing in a band?
I do like a solo project with like my kick drum, electric guitar, and I sing and play the harmonica at the same time. So it's all like, you know, and I'm singing at the same time. So
Wow.
I don't know how I do it. People were like, "You're doing all this." It's just a huge mess that I think. But it's my ADD. I can't. I'm always having to do more than one task at the same time. So I blame it on my ADD. Yeah.
So you were kind of drawn to working at the station because of the music and...
Yeah. Every Sunday, my dad would play 90.1 all the blues because they play it from, I believe, 6 to 5 p.m. on Sundays. And before we'd go to church, my dad would just crank out the jams, and I'd hear Buddy Guy and B.B. King, and just Albert King, Freddie King, all those old school cats, and just jamming. I'm like, what station is this? By the time I got older, I was like, seriously, what station is this? Like 90.1. I was like, where's 90.1? Because all the other stations are not even in Houston, and this place is here in Montrose. And I got into the station through Lisa Blaylock, and she's an amazing DJ and host here at Pat Rosie's Night Sounds. And I knew her through some friends at TMS Studios, and introduced, and it was that mutual friendship on Facebook type of thing. So she knew who I was, but not necessarily like we got to introduce ourselves to each other. So she threw on Facebook, she was like, I'm looking for a co-host for Pat Rosie's Night Sounds, interning, DJ, all this type of stuff. And I'm like, I seen the post, I was like, I'm just gonna go for it, because I started, I graduated from Media Tech Institute in 2010, and then I started working, doing more studies at San Jac for audio engineering as well. And so I sent her my credentials, and she was like, yeah, come in January 3rd, I think January 4th, 5th, and I was like, okay, cool. And I had a show at Fitzgerald's the night before, I think, or a week before, and she didn't know who I was, and I was performing live there, and a buddy of ours, Joel from Enzergo, was like, oh, that's Jay, you know Jay? And she's like, Jay, that name sounds so familiar. And so finally I introduced myself. I'm like, oh, I'm Jay, Lisa. I seen her after I got done with the show, and I'm like, I'm gonna be helping you. And she's like, oh, it's so great, finally, nice to meet you. I was like, yeah, it's awesome. So that's how I got started here at KPFT, and since then it's been like a whirlwind, and it's super fun just hanging out with Lisa all the time, making fun of things and jokes.
Something about Lisa just makes you want to get up and hug her. She's such an approachable person, you know. When I talked to her on the radio one time, it was like, this is somebody I could tell, you know, a lot of things to, and I wouldn't feel self-conscious about it in any way.
Oh yeah. She's an open heart, pure soul, just genuine, and that's what I love about being here with Lisa, is just getting to feel what she has for the station, what she does for the community and the program here. Because Pat Rosie gave her the opportunity to do what she did, and she's been here for a full year, and she's like bringing down the house and stuff, and I'm just like experiencing all this, and it's like I know I haven't wrapped my whole mind around what I'm doing here yet, but once it slows down for me, like, I'm gonna be able to sit back and be like, yeah, he's here on the station, you know? It's so fun. And seeing what Lisa does is exactly what I mimic, and I try and reflect everything she does. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm jotting it down, I'm writing it down, and even if I'm like lazy or if I'm like slow on some social media, she'll call me and be like, Jay, now I know. Right? She's just so fun, and she tells me how it is, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I got you, girl. Definitely. So, yeah.
When you first, on your first show on KPFT, what were some of the things that you remember about the shows that are here that really stuck out? Like,
oh wow, every show really. I mean, it's a different situation every time, because it's like going to a grocery store and you have a list that, okay, I'm gonna get apples, I'm gonna get some tortillas, beans, and a soda, and you come out with $150 worth of items that you didn't even expect that you're gonna buy. So this is what I'm stepping into. Like, I have a certain criteria and steps that I come into every show with, and it's like not what I expect half the time, and I'm like having to rearrange and change things, and I'm like, you know, it's a lot, but it's so fun and it's breathtaking. You can't not be here. You expect to have fun.
Has Lisa had any effect on you on how you perceive people in general?
Definitely. We did the Under the Luna at last concert, which was the last fun drive. And she's like, Jay, I'd like you to just manage the bands. And I'm like, and I'll do all the rest of the stuff. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can manage the band, sure. No problem. And then everything's just, and I'm like, Lisa, where are you? And she's like, okay, Jake, I'm gonna help you, and I'm gonna show you how, like, let's get this band, and I'm like, okay. And I'm rushing, just like, and I take what she says into full effect, and like, I put my mind and every emotion that I can to make sure things go off, like, swiftly and perfectly, just the way she says.
She seems to like calm situations down and make people comfortable.
Definitely.
Talking.
The first time I met Lisa, she didn't know who I was, and I came into KPFT with Disfrutalo. Actually, they had a live performance, and I was like, "Hi, I'm Jay," and I kind of reach out because just how I was brought up, always shake somebody's hand, and she just gave me this hug, and I was like, I don't know you, but okay, like, and I hugged her, and I was like, wow, this is somebody that I'll eventually get to know, or, you know, I want to get to know. And I didn't know, like, 8 months ago that I was going to be here, and here I am, you know, sitting here talking to you, Hal, and talking about Lisa, which is incredible.
I think I want to buy a concert poster of Lisa someday.
Yeah, she does great film work with the she did a video at last concert, and her posters as well are really, really great. She did the Under the Luna wolf thing and everything with the moon and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I love that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love her posters. They're really beautiful. She's has so much, like, so many stories within her, you know. You just look at these paintings that she's done and you think,
yeah,
wow, what is she seeing? You know, how does she come up with these amazing images?
Your mind just creates something that you just can't explain sometimes. And I think when I talk to Lisa, and Lisa's so open, you know, with me personally, but I feel lucky enough to just always sit with her every Friday and Saturday and just, you know, learn from her, learn her stories, get to know how amazing like her. Have you seen her
Fire spinning?
fire spinning?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
I thought I was on a different planet when I was watching it.
Right?
It's like these spirits came out of the sky and started like, doing this comet display, but with fire. I actually think she has some witchcraft abilities. I can't prove it, but she is kind of a sorceress in some ways.
She's got that moonlight glow on her. Yeah. Yeah, she's a story. And I don't know all her stories. She gives me little tiny bits, and I'm trying to piece them together and stuff, but man, not one film can depict everything. She has to write a book.
Yeah. If I had to pick among sorceresses and witches, I would say she's the good witch of the East, not the
From
wicked
the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, exactly. Not the wicked witch of the West. Definitely not.
What was her name? Glinda, the Witch of the East. Yeah, definitely.
And I imagine her. I imagine her singing like that like, that real high pitched song. I mean, I haven't heard her sing that way, but I just,
Yeah, me neither.
Like an angel.
I'd like to hear that though. No, she's a great, skilled guitar player. And what I love about Lisa is when she listens to other guitar players, she's like really focusing, and then she'll nudge me and be like, Jay, I can play better than him. She just throws that out there. I'm like, really? Because I think he's good. And I'm like, damn, Lisa, you've got some skills then. And then I hear her drop it down, and I'm like, oh, now I see what you're talking about.
She could play Crazy Train pretty well, I think.
Oh, I haven't heard her Crazy Train.
Anyway, look, thanks. That's it.
Awesome.
That's it. That's perfect.